hands together.
Wow, wow, wow. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. You are welcome to Life Center Network, your gateway to possibilities. And this is Folktales Fiesta with Auntie Chidima. I'm super excited to be right in your face this beautiful evening because I'm hoping to have a beautiful time with you. Yes, with you. I am Auntie Chidima, the early years educator, your amazing storyteller, and I'm here again to bring you another exciting episode of Folktales Fiesta with Auntie Chidima. Now, Folktales Fiesta with Auntie Chidima is a family storytelling show that focuses on helping our children, your wonderful children, every child out there, to learn their mother tongue and many other languages beyond the English language, French language, Spanish, and any other lingua franca you know. And apart from that, we get to learn a lot of lessons that helps in character development, okay, for the child. And we also have time to enjoy singing and rocking to it in our mother tongue or in the mother tongue of focus per episode. So today I'm going to be sharing a story that I think my attire suggests to you. Can you guess now? The Yoruba language, you guessed just right. Thank you. So today we'll be telling or sharing a story that will help you learn rather a few words in the Yoruba language, and with that you could try to also learn yours based on the little task I will be giving. Before I begin, I'll sing one of the songs I usually use, when we share some social studies lessons for children and talking about the three major ethnic groups and languages in Nigeria. So when we talk about the Yoruba people, we try to sing the song. Now listen and try to sing along with me. Ekaroma, Ekarosa. That's the Yoruba language. That's the Yoruba language. Ekaroma, Ekarosa. That's the Yoruba language. Ekaroma, Ekarosa. That's the Yoruba I'm speaking. That's the Yoruba language. Ekaroma, Ekarosa. That's the Yoruba language. I'm sure you should be giving me a round of applause. Don't you think so? Ekaro, Bawoni, okay? Bits and bits of Yoruba language, okay? You can learn, and then you also try to learn your own mother tongue. So again, you are welcome to Folktales Fiesta with Auntie Chidima. Today's episode, like I said, we'll be looking at a story that helps us focus on the Yoruba language, the culture of the Yorubas. And I'll properly introduce myself because on Folktales Fiesta, we use our mother tongue to introduce. And for me, I am Auntie Chidima. I am Igbo, okay? So I'll say, Ndewono, Ahambo, Auntie Chidima. Ana Pokwanum, the early years educator. Did you get that? I just said, my name is Auntie Chidima, and I'm also called the early years educator. I help children learn in fun and creative ways, and that's why we're having the storytelling show also today. So we're good to go. Remember? Ekaro. And remember I also said Bawoni. That's How are you in the Yoruba language? Let's go. Today we are looking at a story titled Omo the Orphan. Omo the Orphan. Okay, long time ago in a faraway land called Ibaje, there lived an old man who happened to have married not quite young, not in his youth. So he married late, and he also had just one son. So he had children, so to say, late. So he was already old and had this son, he and his wife, whom they called Omo. So Omo grew up in his loving family and everything was going on just fine. Omo's father had this big cocoa farm, very big, a land that was so massive and had lots and lots of cocoa crops. So, like you would expect, Omo usually would join the parents, that's the mom and dad, to the farm, and they work together and enjoy the harvest, of course, enjoy what they get from the crops. They continue to live as a happy family, and after a bit of not too long time, something drastic happened. Omo's mother took ill and she didn't recover as they expected. She died. And like you would expect again, you would know that that was devastating for the family. Omo's father was heartbroken. Omo was depressed. He felt really sad. How would I do without my mother? What am I going to do? How would my mom just leave me? Mother, mommy, why? And with all that mourning going on, well, what had happened had happened. They buried her and they had to move on. Life seemingly continued, but not as easy as it used to be, because Omo's father was badly affected by the demise, the loss of his wife. And with his farm work and caring for Omo, he started feeling a bit overwhelmed by the challenge of taking care of his home. He was really missing his wife. And so after some time, he gave it a thought. He pondered and began to consider to take another wife. So with the help of his kinsmen, Omo's father got this pretty damsel from the neighboring village to Ibaje, and all the customary rites done, he married her into the family, and Omo was also happy he's gotten another mother. And life moved on. Omo's stepmother loved him, pampered him, or so it seemed for a while. Everything was going on just fine until after a few months, Omo's stepmother she became pregnant and gave birth to her own son, her own biological son. And that should be two children, right, in the family, Omo and the younger sibling, his younger brother. Just as she gave birth to her own child, like I mentioned, there was a little twist. Something started happening in the family, I mean, like nobody would like. Omo's stepmother started maltreating Omo. Wami Bai, come here, stupid child. I don't take nonsense, so don't just stress me in this house. Don't stress me. You know, she started being a bit cantankerous. She wasn't as friendly as she used to be, and the house, the home, was no longer comfortable. Now, whenever Omo's dad will come back from the farm, from the day's work, he would notice that his son Omo was no longer as happy as he used to be. He has started becoming a bit withdrawn, okay, to himself, not relating with anyone, just being sad all the time because of the kind of experience he would go through sometimes with his stepmother whenever he wouldn't go to the farm, whenever he doesn't go to the farm with his father. So that was it. When the dad comes back, by me, he will greet, and with that long face, not being happy. The father watched this going on like every other day, and he was wondering what to do about it. He tried to correct the wife, to scold her. This is not right. This boy needs to be happy. He's your son also. Ha! She wouldn't have any of it at all. She was not ready to be corrected. That's the stepmother. So when the father is done correcting her and leaves to the farm, she takes it out again on Omo. Come here! Come here! So you think you're going to make me feel bad in this house, in my husband's house? It will not work. It will not. Omo buburu, nonsense, wicked child. In fact, you're the one that killed your mother. So with such hurtful words, Omo's stepmother kept making Omo feel really, really horrible. And as this continued, one day, Omo's father also took ill. Remember, I told you he was an old man. He was already aging. And unfortunately, just like Omo's mother, Omo's father did not recover from his illness. He died. And Omo was totally shattered. Mommy, Mommy, how can you leave me this cruel one? Why? Why is life so hard on me? What is this? Oh. He would cry and just wail. And the stepmother never gave him any attention. She didn't bother. It wasn't her business. She only cared for her own biological son. She would make Omo suffer, make sure he eats little food. She will make a lot of bean balls, akara, and then ask him to go sell them. And Omo will go heartily doing that, being just his happy self, and people will buy from him. He will come back to the house. Whenever he's back to the house, he's back to being sad again. When he's out there selling his akara, he's that happy child, relating with everyone, ekaro, greeting everyone, and just being smart and very diligent, hardworking. But when he comes back to the house, there was no embrace, no hug, no kind of encouragement, no kind of pat on the back. You're doing well, my son. There was no such thing from the stepmother. But what would he do? He has to live with the stepmother. This was his father's house. Now, this particular day, Omo's stepmother had prepared lots fried a lot of akara and put on his head, of course, in a big tray. Go ahead and sell. Buy, you can go. Make sure you sell everything. And so, Omo carried that tray and started going into the village to sell like he usually did. As he was approaching a particular track, okay, pathway to the next community, he saw an old woman. She looked very haggard. She looked very tired and hungry. So while Omo was wondering, why is this old man looking like this, he greeted like he would always do, Ekaro mami, good morning mother. And as he was passing her, having greeted her, she called him back. Omomi, wa, my son, come. So he turned to answer her, and she said, I am hungry. Ebikbami, I am hungry. Can you give me some of the akara to eat, please? So Omo was wondering what he would do. Remember, the akara, the balls, the bean balls aren't his. It was sent by his stepmother. How was he going to account for the akara when he goes back home? So all those thoughts was going on his mind, and he was wondering what to do. Okay, there's should I not? Should I give to this old woman? Shouldn't I give to her? What should I do? He was just standing and staring at her and contemplating all this in his mind. The old woman repeated again, "Oh, mommy, Emma Binu, please give me some akara. I am hungry." Omo pondered a little longer and he decided to take an action. He made a decision. I'm going to just give her. After all, whether I do right or not, my stepmother will still be angry with me. Let me just try and be kind to this old woman. What else should I do? Should I let her stay and maybe die of hunger? No, I need to do something. Let me give it to her. So, Omo gave a lot of the akara to the old woman. And she was grateful. She said, "Eshe Omomi, Eshe Gon. Thank you, my child. Thank you very much." So, almost continued on his journey to go sell the remaining akara he had, the bean balls he had left, just a few. Remember, he had given a lot to the old woman. And the old woman called him, "Wa, come." And he turned to respond to her. And she brought out a coin and was trying to give to him. And almost said, "No, no, 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 no. No, Mama, don't worry. No, it's okay." The old woman insisted. She said, "You're going to have to take this coin. It's no ordinary coin. Take it. You have done me well, and this is me just appreciating you. As you go back to the house, something special will happen to you. Just take the coin and go." So, with her insistence, pressurizing, Omo went ahead and took the coin and thanked her. "Eshe go, Mommy. Thank you very much, Mother." And Omo went on with his big tray on his head. As he turned to continue, he looked back a little and saw that the old woman was no longer there. She had disappeared. Omo was shocked. What's going on here? This woman was standing here a few minutes ago. She was just talking to me. So Omo realized this old woman wasn't just an old woman. There must be something more about her. Maybe she's a spirit. So Omo adhered to her instructions and just took the coin and started going home. He sold the remaining bean balls, the akara, to every other person who asked to buy from him. So as he got to the house, just approaching the door, the stepmother saw him, say, "Ah, that was quick." She was just talking to herself. That was quick. Let him come. Maybe I'll fry another set of akara, no, the bean balls, and send him to go again. So when he got there, my money. Omo had only a little money from the ones he had sold to give to the stepmother. There weren't any other money for, there wasn't rather any other money for the one the old woman had eaten. What is happening here? What nonsense? I said you that you're a wicked child. Omo boo-boo, useless child. Nonsense. Come here. She started beating him the way she usually did. Hit him hard like that. So the boy couldn't even explain what, "Mommy, I'm sorry. But actually there was this old woman." "Which old woman?" You know, she kept hitting him. And Omo went to a corner of the house I started crying. I started crying. I started crying. Oh, mommy. Oh, mommy. Oh, oh, look at how I'm suffering. Oh, nobody to help me. Oh. And the stepmother just looked away. Just stay there and cry. Who has your time? She ignored him. He was crying and screaming and crying and saying a whole lot of things because of the pain he was feeling. But at a time, he remembered what the old woman gave to him, and he also remembered what the late mom, used to tell him, that no matter what, try to be happy. Make sure you're not sad. No matter what, my child, try to be happy. So when he remembered those words and the coin that the old woman gave to him, he started looking at the coin and suddenly put on a smile on his face and started singing. And this was the song he was singing. Mo bareji, mo irori re, mo bareji, moji morire, 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 mo bareji, moji morire. He kept singing that song over and again. As he was singing, he realized things were changing around him, just like magic. And suddenly, this big, very big house appeared with all kind of goodies that you can ever think of. So with the surprise and shock, he kept singing. Oh yes, I must tell you the meaning of the song. It's like, I woke up to good things. I woke up to good things. I woke up to good things. More like talking to himself, that no matter what, when I wake up to good things. There is hope. Everything is not going to go wrong. So that was the implication of the song he was singing. But literally it means I wake up to good things. I wake up to good stuff, okay? To goodness. I believe something will be fine. So he kept singing again. Mo bareji, moji orire. Mo bareji, moji orire. Mo bareji, moji orire. Mo bareji, moji orire. Just like that, as he was singing, everything was becoming more beautiful. The house appeared so glowing, and everything from water pot to bed to a setting where he can sit like a sitting room, everything appeared in the house, and he had this beautiful house and lots of food in the house to himself. While that was happening, because it was quite strange, the stepmother was hearing him sing and also saw that something was happening that wasn't normal. She ran out to come and say, what's that stupid nonsense, wicked child? What's going on there? So while she was running out to come check, all the tears that